Well, hey, welcome back, everybody. It's me, Odio, and I'm back this week to do another review for you. It's the episode 4 of Frasier, The Dedication. Season 2 of the reboot's been going great so far, and this week we got an episode that's about a dedication to Eve's, her old man, the father of her child, died, and he was really good friends with Frasier's son. So this week we're getting an episode about a dedication they're having about him at the fire hall. Let's get into it. So one of the interesting things about this week's episode is we get some of Eve's backstory, how her and Adam had lived together, things he liked to do. She's kind of reliving times like that. She comes over to visit Frasier because Freddie's there. Freddie comes down all dressed up and spiffy, and Frasier wants to sing the HMS Pinafore. I love that came up for no reason. And then he's going to actually be speaking at the dedication because they were friends for so long when he died he died in the act of being a firefighter, right? So they actually go down and do the big, there's a big ceremony, and Frasier goes there and Eve, and he's going to be giving a speech. Freddie is going to be giving a speech, and Frasier's like, are you okay? Is everything going good? Are you all set? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm good. And Frasier's like, if you want to sing. But he doesn't want any advice from Frasier, and Frasier doesn't really know why, but no big deal. So when they go to the ceremony, Freddie gives a pretty good speech, short and to the point, and pretty fun. They have a nice spread and stuff set out for Adam. We don't know that character, so... But anyway, Frasier notices his son speaking to a woman there. It's a psychiatrist, and he's like, wait, why would he be talking to her? What's going on? So there's a whole side thing with that, but... then Freddie goes off with Eve. They go back to her house, and she's going to throw out the last box of Adam. So Eve goes home and says, I've only got one last box. And Freddie shows up with David, Niall's son, and she's getting rid of some of the old stuff. And she's like, there's an old video game, Quasar. Maybe you can take that for the guys at Harvard, and if they're not too busy getting laid. And David's like, the Q. I've given this up for so long. It's been like 6 months. And they're like, well, that's fine. You can just take it, whatever. He's like, I'll just turn it on and just do a little raid to make sure it works. She's like, can't you know? He's like, I said I'll do one raid. And then he goes off to play it. Reminded me of World of Warcraft. I used to do those big raids back in the day. I'd get my headset on. I'd be there for like a couple of hours. I'd be locking the door so no one bothered me. So he starts playing that while Eve starts clearing out the box with Freddie, and she's having a hard time throwing things out because, Adam's gone. He's never going to touch anything again. So she's kind of like a hoarder almost. That's what it reminded me of. Freddie brings in a bag, tries to talk her into it. They have some pretty funny moments, and they're trying to tell stories about each object, and if it has a good story, they're going to keep it. So pretty cool. But the main event for me is always going to be Frasier. So once Frasier realizes that his son has a psychiatrist, he of course goes and seeks her out to see what they talk about, even though he knows they're not supposed to do that. And it is awesome. When he meets her, she is hilarious. She's boisterous, funny. She's got a big smile, and she loves seeing Frasier. Her character is a lot of fun. They introduced a lot of characters in these new seasons, but she was one of my favorite ones. Just her energy was just fantastic. And she was a big fan of Frasier, always asking about his TV show. And he was asking about his son, which she kept saying was inappropriate. She had a big file there. I thought their interactions were great. It really had me laughing. Like, it's awesome. Whenever you see Frasier interacting with new characters, and especially ones that are like that, they bounce off him. It was a lot of fun. She was a great character. So she won't give him any information. So he ends up stealing Freddie's file because she goes up to play some basketball. Because she used to be a point guard at Vassar, and she apparently she balls hard. They even have like an after credit scene of all of them coming in all wiped out and tired. She's coming in with the ball behind them. It was great. I really enjoyed it. So anyway, Frasier steals the file, and he's not sure what to do. So he goes and meets up with his old good crew, Alan and Olivia from work. Alan is great in this episode. He's been my favorite character that's been in the new reboot. I find his relationship with Frasier great. They've got a long-standing past, a lot of inside jokes. He's got a lot of really funny one-liners, and he's the character I find that gives the best and worst advice, but he's always doing something funny. He's really good to have on screen. He's got so many one-liners and quips. Like, he keeps telling Frasier not to open that file. Like, just don't do it. Because we learned last episode that he's obviously estranged from his family. And he's saying, if you do this, you could be estranged from yours. Like, it's not worth it. And Olivia, she's like at first like, no, let's not do this. But then she loves puzzles, so Frasier keeps inducing her like, well, there's a puzzle we can solve. She's like, well, I'm in. Let's do this. Her character's pretty funny in this too. But Alan, like I said, gives actually really good advice. So they're like, okay, we're going to try to do the old switcheroo and bring it back in. I've seen lots of shows do this, like Seinfeld back in the day. Remember they had the, you may not remember who, but I'm sure you remember the voicemail where you tried to go in and get the voicemail erased. Anyway, Frasier's got to get the file back into the office and hide it back in. They have a great like heist style thing where him and Alan go in, and then she ends up almost catching them. Oh no! So they have to kind of Frasier sets up. He has to work quickly on his feet. Sets up a nice little. Oh, we're gonna actually just here to do a session. Alan has to like avoid all these things, try to get the file put back in place. It was awesome. I was laughing. I was laughing super hard. I was like, he's never gonna get out of here without getting caught. Just like every Frasier episode, right? Nothing ever works out perfect for him, but hey, this time it works out pretty good. It's a lot. I won't ruin everything, eh? I know I've gone over pretty much, but it's funny. It's got a nice conclusion to it. You'll like it. And then back at the house, when they do get home, Frasier realizes Freddie and Eve have been drinking his wine and they're drunk, throwing away Adam's old stuff. And he's like, what have you guys been doing? And they're like, oh, nothing, just putting out the last box. And then out of nowhere, David's like, I'm not still playing Quasar. I'm fine. He just like passes out. I almost had to rewind it because I missed what they were saying. It was so funny. But yeah, and then that's pretty much it. That's the whole episode. They have a lot of funny jokes, one-liners. You get Alan, Olivia. You get a whole nice side plot here. It's great. Like I said, again, it's sort of predictable TV, but another fun episode. Another good time with Frasier. Keep them coming, and I'll keep coming back. But thanks so much for watching this far, guys. I really appreciate your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.